this is what he's talking about.
Right.
You know, and it affect and the politics affect us so many negative ways in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
You know, so we have to learn to become politically savvy. We have to learn to re-educate ourselves. You know, as the collective, even we set up our own online process
Community or whatever.
community,
Right.
right? You know, where we go through and we read out
Right.
process by process what's the procedures.
Let me ask you this: why do you think, for Black folks especially, why do you think we find it we approach or review learning politics as just so difficult? Why do you think we think like that?
Well, you know, being in a place like where we from, right? You know, Milwaukee, where gerrymandering is strong. So they what they do with gerrymandering is they find you got a black neighborhood, you vote Democratic, right? So Republicans get in power. What they do is they divide your neighborhood, right? They engulf it into Republican neighborhoods, right? So that your vote won't count. So it's mixed in with too many Republican votes, right?
Right.
So they do the gerrymandering process, but we don't really gather that. So we like, oh, my vote don't count. I voted for. I know we ain't over here voting for him, but they divide your neighborhood in half. Half of it going to this white neighborhood, half of it going
Right.
split up in this white neighborhood. You know, they do that.
So, can I follow up with saying that, as two examples you just gave two examples. The reason a lot of times we think politics is hard to learn because we think it's something more than something simple. Because, like you pointed out, uh, gerrymandering is just, they just switch where your votes go. It's as simple as that. A filibuster is nothing but who stays and argues out the longest or who wait out the other person arguing. It is nothing more than that. That
Well,
is it. And a lot of times, a lot of us think it's something, oh, it requires them to do this and they got to pass this and then they got to get this many votes and then they got to get the people from over here. No, it's actually, the process is simpler than you think. Like with filibustering, it's just who can out argue who and who can wait who out. That's what filibustering is. Gerrymandering is just, okay, I live on 10th and Clark, and the area that 10th and Clark is inclusive of is, let's say, First and Richards, just basically down the street, Clark and Richards. But Clark and Richards is quote unquote Republican. From say like fifth or sixth center going up is considered Democrat. But all they'll do is just move the line.
mm-hmm.
That's all they did.
Yeah.
Move the line up to like 6 or 7.
Right.
And then take all them votes that would normally have been on the Democratic side of center voting and put them down there on the Richardson side of them. That's all it is. It's something simple like that. Politics is not that difficult to learn.
Well,
Would it be fair to say that that's basically
that's basically it is. And but the basis how they get around it is that you're divided.